Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Clarity Conference. As you can see, despite three members of the, logo, only two of us here are currently present.
So I guess, this episode is just going to be Matthew and I. Joe's starting his final year of schooling, year 12, so exciting times for him.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just going to be us two for this episode, and we're going to be discussing escapism.
Woo, let's go. I know all about this one. And hey, at the very least, at least for myself and the viewer, it's going to be a lot more easier to know who I'm talking about instead of the two different Joes. Now there's just one.
That's it. Oh, and by the way, Joey has just messaged in the chat, weekly clarity, let's go. We're sticking with the grind.
Yeah, let's go.
So I guess we could start off with the Wikipedia
definition?
Yeah, the Wikipedia definition.
Oh, Wikipedia, come on, we can do better than that. But yeah, tell me what you got.
Escapism is mental diversion from unpleasant or boring aspects of daily life, typically through activities involving imagination or entertainment. So from what I've read and what I've experienced, it mainly occurs when you're obviously trying to avoid something. So basically it's just any type of avoidance of anything. Personal
responsibility, guilt, trauma, events. It could be a number of things, to be frankly honest.
Even procrastination is a form of I guess not escapism, but avoidance. Like it depends what you do in that while you're procrastinating. Like if you're procrastinating by playing a video game or something, that's escaping from what you are actually like trying to do.
Yeah, I would say, that can definitely see view as a part of the concept of escapism. But to me and my little bit fair share of research of what it is, escapism is more so of just rejecting reality.
Yeah.
And just full on embracing your own, that you mentally made in your own conscious, subconscious. And it could be a number of activities. It could be like you gardening all day, don't go to work, don't talk to family members, you playing video games, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Just completely avoiding your day-to-day responsibilities just to make it easier for yourselves.
Like relieve that stress,
anxiety.
Yeah, well, that's right. And so I guess this ties in with the first sort of topic, or the subtopic that I want to talk about. Not really subtopic, but just like, I guess, the first question. So I've got here, like, what is your definition? What is your definition of escapism? How do you escape from the daily stresses of life?
Well, I would probably say, out of all the themes and topics we've discussed on the podcast so far, I think I would definitely say I'm a victim of escapism.
I feel like most people are, though, like in some form of it. Like there's people who have like the extreme level of escapism, and then there's the
shut
people,
them off, live in the room,
they're in the man cave, eating Doritos, trying to escape from everything else in their mum's basement,
Yeah, I definitely say that's one way to say is escapism. But it could just be simply just getting a hobby that is just straight up addictive to you at the very least, that you just do too much of one thing. And to get out of it, well, that's probably the most difficult thing. You've made a world where you're so comfortable, so relaxed, just so well treated, that why on earth would you want to leave such a comfort zone where you want to go back to reality, where you have responsibilities, guilt? And the thing is about escapism, that a lot of it is just a response from trauma victims. For example, like they gone through a grieving.
One form of it, I get, or one example of why someone would turn to escapism.
100%. Yeah, it could be someone lost a family member, a serious relationship, got caught cheating, lost employment, lost housing. It could be a number of heavy traumatic thing, domestic abuse and such. So to simply try and leave that fictional world where you created everything, where everything is better, happier, easier, would you want to leave that?
Like, I mean, it depends on the situation. So, like, obviously, I in my own daily life, I have like forms of escapism. And this includes like obviously like going to the gym. That's like an escape for me. That's like getting away from everything else in life and just having some time to myself, and just trying to get away from all the stresses of life. And I think in that sense, it can have a good impact on your life. Because obviously gym has been like, just exercise in general has been proven to benefit both your physical and mental health. But yeah, like I guess I give myself like a little bit of time each day just to get away from things, just have my own time, whether that's read a book and like get lost in the story of the book.
I mean, that's one way to escape from
That's
reality.
right. That's a form of escapism. And like, I haven't done it recently, but like when I used to do a bit of yoga and stuff, like that would get me like just away from everything and just clear my mind and just...
Hold up.
Yeah.
You used to do yoga?
I used to, and I got to get back into it because it's very good for you.
Oh, did you ever do the doggy style?
What? That's a clip for the TikTok.
That's a clip.
That's a clip right there.
where we at? Like probably the 5-minute mark. But yeah, honestly, I should get probably into yoga, and that'll be a good way to escape from reality. But let's say
it's really good for you. Like, sorry, I just want to like because I like. It's insanely good for you, just like for your muscles, just to like relax, and also for you to clear your mind as well. And
there's the spiritual and the philosophical approach of yoga.
Yeah. Well, that's right. I mean, each person takes a different way, but the way I take it is like, it's good for me to like stretch my muscles, because when I'm like training, I don't really like stretch a lot. So doing yoga like gives me an opportunity to do that. And also it's good for my mental health, because I'm just for like one brief moment, I'm just escaping everything and I'm not worried about anything.
But muscle pain.
Yeah,
you worry
but
everything
insane
but muscle pain.
Stretching pain.
Yeah. So you would say your form of escapism is the act of physical control.
Physical control, yeah. I guess so. I guess so. Like putting all of my stress and my anger into something that I'm passionate about. You could say,
yeah.
Like whether it's not even just gym. If I'm like doing like video production stuff, that's like a passion of mine. Like I put all of the shit that I've gone through during the day, and just put it into that. I think that's when I like work the best as well.
Yeah.
After like a stressful day, I just come home and just like smash out some projects, or just work on a few things, and it just like relieves my mind,
Distract it.
Yeah, that's it. It's a distraction, really. That's what escapism is. It's like a distraction from your daily life, from the reality.
No, the thing is about escapism that there's a distraction, and then there's just living in fantasy, and that's at least from...
That's like the extreme of escapism.
I think that's what essentially the moderate usage of the term is.
So you think that's the actual definition?
I think that's the actual proper way to define escapism, that it's not something that you use as a distraction, but something that you use as an everyday occurrence, that you would rather want to live in this world than the real world. I mean that's why you got like so many people who like not like every day, but who have hobbies, and also include myself, like role playing, D&D, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, tabletop RPG games. It's
just like a role playing thing. Like you're playing some other role than the one you currently do in reality.
You are playing some other character than yourself, because at the very least, at least from my point of view, and because I also got to experience it, and from my understanding, when someone plays like tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons, or role-playing games, or when you have to pretend to be someone else, like acting even, or even drama students, I think that is a form of escapism, because at the very least you have control over the actions of what you do, more so than our own lives. Like like when you make a RPG Dungeons and Dragons character, you make them like a buff elf who has like a great sword, who gets all the gold, slay dragons, like get all the women and everything, all men up to you.
It's just pretty much just limited to your own imagination, whereas in reality you're bound by
physics and laws.
You're bound by the laws of your reality.
Exactly.
You know, so when you're in this other world, it's like there's no limitations. Like the only limitations is the thing that you can't think of.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering that in that fictional world, magic also exists. So the imagination of what limitless, and to me, that gives a lot of people who have little control in their lives just more control. And I think that's how do I say it? It's very good. Because I'll probably say the reason how I got a lot of my social skills growing up was because of D&D. Because I was like a shy kid.
Yeah.
I was the mute. I would stand in a corner and be like, cool, I'm here. I'm done.
But you're not.
Not now.
Yeah, but you're not.
I'm not now. I've gone from player to now dungeon master, DM. It's not a sexual term. Shut
Wait, did
up.
you just say player? Like as in...
Yeah, a player.
Oh,
a player character in D&D. What did you think?
Just a player. Just a player.
A player. I'm a poet. Thank you. I like to express.
What are you saying?
I like
What are
to.
you saying?
Okay, I do not play. I sing my feelings. Okay,
Bro.
that's how I go. I'm digging myself a hole, aren't I?
A little bit.
A little bit. I don't care.
Joe said like about
Joe, the Joe that's not here.
the Joe. Yes, he said.
Joe, do your bloody schoolwork. Okay,
That
get
he
off
is.
here.
He's listening. He said before that. What did he say? He said doing homework while listening to the greatest podcast.
Yes.
And then we were talking earlier about like how putting the stress into more productive things. And yeah, just like I guess having a better outcome than just I guess stressing about it and sitting there and doing nothing in your head sort of thing. Joe said it's great to see because some people put all their stress into things which may detriment them. You can either channel the energy into productiveness or hindrance.
For a second, I thought you couldn't read.
I know. You know what? I'm having a bad day today.
We all are. That's
Just
why we
can't
have
read.
coffee.
Just can't read. And then he says because it begs the question: is escapism truly bad? If someone escapes through like activities such as the gym, is that a bad thing?
Yes.
Oh, you think that's a bad thing too?
I think any form of escapism, especially through excessive use, is bad. Because at that point, yes, you're going to gym. Yes, you're improving your body, your mind, if you want to call it that. Like if that's true or just excuses that you're lying to yourself about. Either way, if you constantly go to the gym, then you're not making social connections with your friends or family. Then you're not having more time for personal use to hang out with people.
So you're saying like, yeah, I guess like letting gym consume your whole life, sure. Like that's not a good thing. But if it's at the point where like you're just spending like an hour a day like doing gym, and you may go with your friends, you may go with your family, your girlfriend, whatever.
I say that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, are you saying if it completely consumes your life, like you're there 24 hours a day because you're trying to get away from things, then it's a bad thing?
I knew a few people that would go to gym constantly, and like one of them even affected like relationships and everything, because like it was always the forefront of.
I think I know the person you're talking about. I
don't think you do, because you never met him.
Oh, okay, maybe not then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know who you think I'm talking about.
Oh, you think you know that.
I think that you think that I know what you think. Yes, but no, it's no. No, you never met him. He went to USC.
So, all right, this goes on to the next sort of area. When using a form of escapism, how does it make you feel?
good, as it should be. Because the thing is, a lot of escapism, especially like the main one it more or less targets to, are more so towards the victims of like traumatic experience, like domestic abuse, affairs, tragedy, death in loved ones, families, especially in younger children, especially because to accept a reality where everything is perfect is easier than to accept that everything's bad.
Well, not that everything's bad, but that there are like bad things in reality. Whereas like you can create, like, why not live in the world where you can just create things that everything's good and everything's perfect, but there's a danger to that, because like once you, like at one point or another, you're going to have to step out of that world and go back into the real world, the reality of things. And then, what are you going to do when you see all this shit happening in your life? And that's only just inevitable as a part of living.
I mean, have you ever seen the movie Shutter Island by Leonardo DiCaprio?
I have, yes.
You have?
Yeah, very good movie. That pretty much just like
that entire movie sums up escapism entirely, because that's someone. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen Shutter Island, probably just skip 5 minutes ahead.
Oh no, there's no 5 minutes ahead. It's a live thing. Don't spoil it.
Oh no. Well, either way, spoiler alert. So I would mute this. Okay, if I do this, you can unmute. But basically, the main premise of Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie.
Yeah.
He finds his kids, his wife, and goes clinically insane. And then it's picked up from the start of the movie. He's a detective, and he starts figuring out all these pieces. He plays that fantasy where he's a detective, and that this is entirely something else, something different that's unconnected, unrelated to him, because it's more easier to digest and understand if it's from another person's point of view than his own. And then when he does realize that all of that was a fantasy and all of that was a lie, he could have gone off, live his life, but that pain, that trauma was too much, which is why he faked to continue his own mental illness.
So he's like almost made himself believe that he's that he actually belongs in this different world, or like
No, I wouldn't
he's taken on this different identity anyway.
Yeah,
and to escape the reality of his identity, which is a father who had lost his kids and wife. Did the wife?
I think the wife also. It's such a long time since I've seen the movie. I think the wife did kill herself. I believe. It's a long time. Someone could easily correct us for that.
Well, now we can go back off mute. All right, off mute.
Off mute.
Off the mute.
Yeah, but yeah, that I would definitely say it was easier for him to go through it, to forget everything, than to still continue to remember what he did, because once he knew that fantasy of that escapism was all fake, he could not live with the world, and that's why he went with that decision at the end of that movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
But what about you? Give me a little bit of your sip of your tea.
So how does it make me feel? Obviously, same sort of feeling as everyone would have when they're escaping things. Gives you this feeling of, I don't know, just a lack of just the eradication of stress, I guess. Removing all bullshit.
It's a safe place. It's just me and you and hundreds of strangers on the internet.
Oh yeah, that's if we reach up to that many views.
We have on the first episode. What are you on about? But don't worry,
let's go.
Your secret's safe with us and strangers on the internet.
Oh, that's cool. Then I feel so much better now.
You're welcome.
So yeah, like I said earlier, like when I'm doing things such as working out, exercise, and just tending to my own creative projects, you're just sort of preoccupying yourself with like something that you enjoy doing. So I feel like there's no weight on your shoulders in that time. That's if you really get in the zone though. Like there's always, for me, there's always just like, oh shit, I got to go to work. like, you know, like even when I'm working out, like I'm like, shit, I've got to get this done because I've got to go to work, or I've got to go home and do this. And
Yeah, it's a routine.
yeah.
And plus,
So
you
like,
have
I don't let myself get so invested in this world of escapism, right? Because if I were to, then it's like, why would I want to ever go back? And that's the trap that a lot of people fall into, you know?
And some people, they know that in a reality, false reality, they choose to still live in it because it's just easy.
It's just like, you know, yeah.
More bearable.
Yeah.
Plus, and I would say you have more control because you have your own home gym in your own house.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really use it like too often. I go to the regular gym.
I mean, I
more,
imagine
so-
though, like COVID-19, you used it a lot.
Oh yeah, like that's when we built it.
I mean,
so
yeah. I mean, speaking of COVID-19, how was like your, I guess, experience in that? Like, were you probably gymming more often, gymming less? I would say.
I was actually like I was like training from home, obviously, because the gyms were closed. That's why we set up the gym in the first place. And yeah, I was like pretty full on. Like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing this for real. And because I had it right here, I was just doing it every day and just training. And you know, like I didn't really experience that that sort of depression that a lot of people got during the pandemic. I guess I'm just like lucky, but you know, I think it's because I preoccupied myself with something that I'm actually passionate about. And so that's where like I think it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
When you're able to just get that little bit of time to yourself where
Like
you're like
a minor degree of escapism.
yeah, just like an hour or two a day, just like doing your own thing, getting away from everything else. You know, that's why like they say that oh my god, I don't know what's wrong with my throat.
I'm down.
All right, we're
There's
good.
strangers watching
We're
us
good.
on the
I know,
internet.
I know.
Don't be shy.
I know. Okay, sorry guys, I'm a little stage fright. Sorry.
That's okay. we all get that sometimes.
Where was it? Oh yeah, so that's why like some people say that like fishing is a very like peaceful thing because you're out in a boat, you're in the middle of the ocean, you don't know.
You can go hours and hours fishing without noticing the time.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Like I
ever
remember last time I went, and it was just like there was no sense of time, and like 5 hours went like that. Like it felt like 30 minutes, and because I had just no stress because I'm in the middle of the ocean. What the fuck am I supposed to do about what's back at home? You know, like
stare at the fish.
That's it.
Stare at the fish.
Like what else am I supposed to do? Like I can't do anything while I'm out there. You know.
No, I feel exactly like it because when my watch broke, I got to get a new watch, but I instantly lost all like sense of like time. Like I'm sitting in my room playing a game for what I think is 5 minutes, and I check my alarm clock,
2 hours,
and it's like it's almost been an hour, and I'm like, it does not feel like an hour. What the fuck? But would you to continue from like COVID?
Yeah.
Would you say that escapism, sorry, I guess had a more prominent role because a lot of people were stuck at home, couldn't go out to see loved ones, friends, family, couldn't go out to restaurants, venues.
Oh, for sure. Like, who would want to be in the reality of, you know, a lockdown during a world pandemic where people, like millions of people were dying and getting sick and all that sort of stuff? Who would want to be like in that
scenario?
reality? So I'm sure like a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, because like, I mean, especially since that during that lockdown period, you can't do anything else. So what else do? You escape, don't you?
You're alone with your own thoughts.
That's it.
Damn.
Who wants to be like that? Who wants to be alone with their own thoughts, man?
Introverts.
True.
Very true. Honestly, it kind of unaffected me.
Yeah, so what were you doing during lockdown? Did you feel that sense of depression at all, or were you sort of filling up that void with you know, like distracting yourself and playing games, or you know, like talking to people? Or were you with your girlfriend at the time during the during like the lockdown part of the pandemic?
That would be my back then.
Yeah. Okay, yes.
Thanks for bringing that up, you dick.
Bro, you didn't have to say that. You didn't have to say
No,
that. Your girlfriend's probably watching, bro.
Hi, baby.
Oh, you gotta be careful.
But yeah, no. I would say more or less, sure, it affected me. I think the most thing that was annoying was the fact that I had to do university online, especially accounting. And because like the first few weeks, no one knew what was happening and it was all switching to online. So it was like I had a problem with this equation and I needed to know what was this stakeholders value and equity and all that mumbo jumbo. Did I do this equation correct? And then it would take them like a couple of days to respond back, or like, oh, we can schedule a Zoom call or whatnot after those said questions have already been due. And it was kind of like, I mean, that would have been like everyone else, and that was annoying. And I think that's probably why I dropped accounting. And now we're doing probably the same uni course as we're doing now. So,
Hey, let's go.
COVID brought us together.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank COVID.
No, I'm kidding.
No, we all do. But yeah, but I would say yes, more or less it did affect me, but not in such a negative view. It was, for me, it was more of an annoyance because a lot of my things, like I can still talk to friends, text them, Zoom call. I mean, I still play D&D. Well, I didn't play D&D. I'm more hosted and GM or DM'd D&D games. Like, especially like one of these
Here we go.
big books. Oh, Pathfinder 2E by Paizo.
Here comes the nerd in Matthew.
Here comes the
There he
nerd
is.
in me. Yes, the nerd has always been inside of me. That sounded wrong. Moving on, but yes. I played a lot of that with
Shout out to Gerald. Yeah, so
Geralt. Get his name, Geralt
no,
of Rivia.
no, Gerald, bro.
Gerald.
Gerald, the nerd's been inside of you this whole time.
Oh my god, that's where he's been. I thought he was dead in MIA. But no, I played online with my mates and hosted a bunch of like random games from a bunch of strangers online. Got paid for it, so that was more than fun.
Win.
Big W.
So what? Yeah, like I guess that relates to escapism as well. Like, why are people willing to pay so much for somebody to just make up a story?
Because they have more control. It's as simple as that.
That's right.
They
have the freedom of
can
choice.
literally make any, like Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, Call of Cthulhu. If we were playing Dungeons and Dragons right now, and I told you make a character, any character, give me a basic description of a character you would want to play.
Man, you're putting me on the spot.
Like
Yeah.
like Skyrim, Fallout Boy. Would you play the strong, charismatic, fearless leader?
You'd obviously make a character that's like lives up to your fantasies, you know?
Exactly. It's something
Or
that
somebody that you want to be, or that you know that you feel like you can't be.
something that you
reality.
lack.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
get to play that. You get to be whatever you
So you
want.
get to feel that little void that you think you're.
And you
possess.
get I got a lot of people that I hosted and game mastered that got really, really into the role playing. And it was like, at first it was really weird because it was like, this is weird. And then I eventually like, no, this is fun. This is actually pretty nice because they got.
That's
really,
what I thought. Like at first, like
It-
the whole idea of Dungeons and Dragons was
it's-
so like nerdy and just weird. And I was like, I don't know if I like this.
No, like
But then I played a few games with you, and it was like, it's just fun. Everyone's doing the same thing. Nobody, well, maybe we think it's cringe, but it's like it's funny.
it's fun. You can do whatever the fuck you want. If
That's
you
right.
want to take a guard by a leg and bash him and rob a bank, you can do whatever you want. Like one of the few things I remember, this girl was her first time playing Dungeons and Dragons, and she wasn't really into it. So I was like, okay, I'll give you this session for free, so then you can choose to stay if you want to, whatnot, and all that. And she was like, wasn't role playing, wasn't doing any accents, different voices, or playing a character.
Yeah.
And then like there was a combat sequence. She was using her abilities and everything in the fight, and I would like go into deep details describing what her character would do because she played like a dragonborn, which is basically like a humanoid dragon
Right.
that can
Yeah.
breathe lightning.
Yeah.
So I described that when she was breathing lightning, like it was basically Godzilla, where he was like charging up the beams, just like ooh, 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 and just shoot out lightning in a cone, disintegrating all her enemies. And then she like from that point onwards, she was like, "Oh yay, let's do it!" And she started like doing an accent and started role playing.
Yeah.
And then she stayed for like another like 10 more sessions.
So that's why like people love that, like that connection, that personal connection,
because they feel a sense of importance.
That's right, yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people like go into a sense of escapism, because they don't have that importance in their life. They don't feel as if anyone depends on them. But in that false reality, they can make it as so that everyone depends on them. They are
very true.
They are literally the hero of their own story. But the thing is, in our real own lives, sometimes we aren't the hero of our own story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well,
does that make sense?
No, that is true. And like, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, we can't be the hero of our own story because there's all these other people that have, I guess,
boost you,
arguably more importance in the world than we do. You know,
Jeff Bezos.
Like realistically, we're all just that's what I mean. Like realistically, we're all just like
eat the rich.
We're just all like insignificant like human beings that just But in saying that, we are kind of the hero of our own story, because it's our own. It depends on how you, what's the word, perceive it, perceive life. You could see life as like you being this. We're all just insignificant beings that have no impact on the world, or you can see it as, I'm gonna like put as much as I can into the world while I'm here, and try and make that impact. And then that's when you don't need escapism as much, because you feel like you're making an impact in the world and you're becoming an important person by adding value to your life.
Honestly, that's probably the best way I would describe it. As soon as you start feeling connections with people in the real world and you start to feel importance, as like you were saying, you don't need it.
You don't need it as much,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's why like once people I guess, get a job or contribute to a community in some way, they feel a sense of importance. Yeah. And they don't need as much time sitting in their mum's basement, playing video games and eating Doritos, you know what I mean? That was directly at you. No, I'm kidding. He does not live in his mum's basement.
I don't even have a basement.
Yeah, no, exactly.
What are we, Americans?
Do we even have basements in Australia?
Actually, no. I think basements are.
We have garages.
Garages?
Yeah, we have garages where they can be made into like.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I technically have like some sort of man cave down here.
Oh, this
is not a basement. This is just the first floor.
Yeah. You have a two-story house, Joe.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. Anyway, we turned the whole like first floor into like a man cave, pretty much.
Your man cave.
Yeah, it's just mine. This
entire first floor is.
I know. I finessed my whole family, bro.
Yeah. Bastards.
So. Wait, what'd you just say?
Bastard.
Hey. So I was gonna ask you, like, what do you try to escape from in particular?
Trauma.
Now this may be
personal.
yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
No. That's
end the podcast.
If it's too personal, then like we can go on to the next thing. But if you feel comfortable enough in answering it, then it's up to you, and you don't have to be like super specific. You can just say like just your job or whatever. I don't know.
I would definitely say, yeah. I've escaped from reality more so than often.
Yeah, but like, what do you try to escape from in particular? What about your life? Now, see, this might be too personal. If you don't want to answer.
To have more control.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, what is there a lack of control in your life?
Lack of control. I get more control. I mean, that's probably why I'm the DM, because I'm more or less God.
So you like having that sense of control and authority.
I may
over a world or a reality, So yeah, so you feel a sense of. See, I feel like I'm like a psychologist now.
Yeah,
you feel a sense of lack of control. Damn, I think I just took you apart,
I'm gonna
bro.
call Steph, and then she'll feel insulted.
Wait, why?
She'll be like, "I've been studying for 3 years, and this motherfucker thinks she can
because she's
come
doing
up to
psych,
me."
isn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, but can I be honest with you, Joe? Why I'm a DM? Or Dungeon Master or Game Master.
Why.
You want to know why? Can I be honest with you?
Go on, send it.
I may or may not have a god complex.
Oh my god. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. Can I control the actions and consequences of all my players when they play D&D? Yes. Can I kill them at any time playing D&D?
Yes.
Especially yes. Can I make them into fucking gods? No, because where's the fun in that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, because then they'd be on your level.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen.
I mean, they can certainly fucking try. I want the challenge. Okay. Oh fuck it.
So
Fuck
you like your level of authority to be challenged.
Yes.
But then just to crush their dreams of getting to that level by just saying, no, here's some big ass boss that you're gonna fight now, and now you're fucked.
Yeah. No, I kid you not. There was in my most recent campaign, like one that I do every Sunday with my workmates.
Oh no.
I was so close. I was like giving them combat encounters and everything. Like they were fighting enemies, and they said to me, like in real life, Matthew, what the fuck? This is so easy. Like seriously, give us a challenge. And I'm just thinking, oh, 5 ancient black dragons are gonna be coming, you motherfuckers.
Oh shit.
And I'm like, oh, it's easy. Adult red dragon. Yeah. Where did that come from? It was.
It's just crazy how you can just make up all this shit.
Proper reason why that fucking dragon was. Okay, I didn't just summon it.
You just spawned it.
I did, but
there's a reason for it.
Yeah. That I made up. Because God complex.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So oh yeah, wait, let's put
now,
so
what was the question that you asked me?
What do you try to escape from?
Yeah. I would say ask the same question about you, but you already.
Well, have I? I don't know. What did I say about
Jim?
Yeah, but what do I try to escape from?
Oh, what do you escape from? Me?
Yeah. That was the most Steven shit ever. Clip that. That was. It's just like I was just like no. I think like one of the viewers can clip it.
Yeah. 48-minute mark. What are you trying to escape from? Me.
I just saw your eyes like look at me, look straight through my soul, just go me. And I'm just like, should I be trying to escape from?
As long as you don't escape.
What? Bro.
But yeah, no. If you are escaping, look at me when I talk to you. When you were trying. Okay, silence. We're calmed. We are philosophers.
We're philosophers.
Joe, look at me in the eyes. We are philosophers.
I'm ready. Look
deeper.
I'm looking like past you right now. I'm too scared to look into you.
Look in the future, then.
Into you, into your soul.
Don't look into me. That's just way too fucking sexual. Anyway, what are you trying to escape from?
Well, if it's not you, I think I tend to put a lot of stress like on myself to, I guess, become like better every day, and sometimes that gets very overwhelming. So there's got to be times where I just like sit back and not worry about any of that stuff, because like I reckon like 70-80% of the time I'm always stressed about like what I should be doing rather than what I'm currently doing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I always like at every opportunity I should be trying to like better myself, and that puts like quite a lot of stress. Like as much as I think it's required and it's necessary for me to get the most out of my life, it does put like quite a bit of stress on me. So like having those little moments in between, those breaks, like going to the gym, playing games, or
getting
like,
your shoulders rubbed by your significant other can relieve stress.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
or me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Significant other.
Thank you. Both our girlfriends are probably watching this.
That's all right. That's right. They know about our relationship. Anyway,
the bromance is alive.
Anyway, yeah, I think like just having a break from all of that is good, because like I stress myself a lot I won't say it's unnecessary stress because I believe it's all necessary in order for me to develop as a develop into my best potential. It's required of me to do those things.
Yeah.
And continuously just work on myself. But like sometimes it just adds a bit of stress and I just need a break from it. And yeah, I think it's just better overall when I do that. And I know that like gym has actually helped me.
Gym as in the gym, or gym as in JIM?
GYM.
Got it. I thought like you were pumping gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could work either way.
Look, I mean, if your name was Jim... No, I'm kidding. All right. Then I wouldn't be lying, would I? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You said like what?
I'm kidding. I swear. No. Yeah. So that's what I'm just escaping from. Just like a lot of stress. I do put a lot of stress on myself, and it's like, I don't want to say it's not good because it is good that I put a lot of stress on myself.
It's helping to a minimal degree or moderate degree.
I feel like
it's helping significantly for a minimum exposure to escapism.
Yeah, I guess so. Like the ratio from like living my life as it is, as the reality of it, versus escapism is slowly decreasing as I face the stresses of life more.
Damn.
Well, actually, no, sorry. Increasing or decreasing?
I mean,
like, as in, I'm saying the ratio of like me dealing with life and wanting to deal with the stresses of life
makes it less stressful.
Makes like my future experiences less stressful because I've already sort of confronted them, and so that also decreases my need for escapism. And I feel like everyone needs like a tiny bit of needs to do some sort of form of escapism.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like just a little bit though. But I'm trying to like minimize it as much as possible.
I mean, you got people who go...
But I also have just like a little bit because I need a bit of a break,
Yeah. I mean, you got people who dress up like cosplay, who goes LARPing, full role-playing. I mean, would you say that they're taking it too far, or they're just having fun?
Look, man, I have no judgment, but I do have judgment. No, maybe just a little. Like, I don't know. It depends, man. If that's what you enjoy doing, then who am I to say? I'm not even focused on that. I'm just focused on myself.
Damn straight. Mind your own business.
I'm a narcissist. No. I believe that's it. I mind my own business, man. I just do what I do, and that's it. Anyone else can live their life how they want to live it.
You live your life a quarter mile at a time.
Stop quoting like movie.
I can quote movies all day. Just watch me.
I don't even know what that movie's that's from. I've just heard that.
Are you kidding? Fast and the Furious.
That's right. It is that. Wow, that was terrible of me. Jesus. Anyway,
fun fact: they're making another one.
Yeah, I did see that somewhere.
We're gonna stop at like Fast and Furious 99 at this point,
probably.
But yeah, I mean, to end the episode.
We've got quite a few. We've got like 3 more questions.
Oh, do we?
And then, yeah.
I can't read.
Can't read, but like it's like halfway. We're like basically we're at like the 4th. But look, I mean, we've already sort of talked about the other things. I was gonna say, wait, were you gonna make a point?
Oh no, I was gonna say more or less. After this discussion and everything, would you say that escapism is a decent coping mechanism, or is it more a detrimental mental illness?
Mental illness.
Because some people do classify it as a form of mental illness.
Oh wow.
Or sorry, not a mental illness, mental disorder.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It depends, like, on the amount of escapism that people use, I guess, in their lives. Like that sort of ties in very well into the next question as well. It's like, is escapism a good thing? Could it lead to something potentially harmful in the long run, or the opposite?
Yeah.
Could it lead to something potentially positive in an individual's life?
Yeah, no, 100%. Because in this article I got, is escapism a trauma response? And it says right here from I'll find it.
I'm going to get the
what?
the website up that I saw earlier.
Please do not be Wikipedia.
No.
Yeah.
It is forms of escapism.
But yeah, in this quote, is escapism a trauma response? And it says here, during traumatic experiences, many individuals naturally escape the situation mentally in order to avoid further distress and psychological harm. And mental health. Oh, it's not Wikipedia. Congratulations, Joe. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. But yeah, what's it here? What is that? Sport? I can't read.
So it says, so I'll just get it up on my laptop.
Oh my god, drugs. They know how to party.
Yeah. So like, for example, like one really bad example of escapism is like drugs. This is it's obviously a very obvious one.
Yeah.
People use drugs to escape from reality.
A lot of people take LSD to see the talking purple penguin.
Sorry?
What?
I actually genuinely didn't hear a word you just said.
I was making a very poor joke.
All right. That's 80% of your joke. No, I'm kidding. I
quit the podcast.
That's it. Matthew is done.
Yeah, Joe doesn't find my jokes funny.
So like, yeah, they say here like, I guess a positive example of it is sport and exercise, but then you got a few bad ones like drugs, overeating, just like to distract yourself from stuff again. And obviously, you know, it depends on your perception of it, but a lot of people believe that
a lot of people do too much of those things though.
Life, yeah, that's right. And you know, a lot of people perceive life as like it's getting more challenging. Yeah. I guess. But yeah, that's why people feel the need to like reach out to these what do you call it? These bad forms of escapism. But yeah, I guess. Anyway, what were you gonna say? Sorry,
Joe, our other co-host has responded.
Oh,
let's see what he said. In a sense, the name itself, escapism, implies that you are escaping, which would definitely class as a coping/trauma response, because someone would only want to escape if it was bad or perceived as bad to themselves. Joe, why aren't you here? Because clearly you probably know more shit about this than us.
I mean, yeah, that's why we're having a discussion about it. Hey,
that's true. We did our fair share of 2-minute research.
Yes.
But
you know, like, I mean, it's a pretty easy concept to grasp. Escapism. What are you laughing about?
I just saw a very negative comment.
Thank you for that comment, Phantom. Appreciate.
I'm about to smack you. I'm about to smack you, silly.
That was a joke.
It better be a joke. But yeah. Either way, yes, while those types of outlets are positive for mental exercise and such, let's say this, you do sport every single day, you go to the footy oval, you hang out with your football club, do all of that first, but you don't spend time with your family. At that point, you're just creating a social drift from your family in order to escape. And you're placing more responsibility upon one action upon others that you need to qualify.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess that's where it could be also very negative, how it could influence your life in a negative way as well. So I guess to sort of finish off, we can talk about what are the pros and cons of minimal, moderate, and prolonged escapism.
I think we can both agree that prolonged is more or less a negative viewing of escapism.
It depends what it is though. Like if it's something that actually like benefits your health, like such as like gym and working out.
Even still, because you're prioritizing one fantasy or one alternate reality over the actual real thing.
I mean, prolonging something doesn't mean you prioritize it over other things. That just means like prolonged escapism in short intervals.
You're living a delusion then.
That's if it takes up your whole day. Prolonged, just like for me, working out is a prolonged form of escapism, but it's only an hour of my day each day. That's still prolonged.
Not everyone is like that.
No, but I'm saying that's what prolonged escapism. That's one way of saying prolonged escapism, because it's prolonged over a long period of time. But that may mean that person only does that maybe 10 minutes a day, but it's still prolonged because it could be over 10 years, but if it's 10 minutes a day, then it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I think. If it's prolonged escapism where you're talking about most of your life taking up that form of escapism.
Yeah.
Sorry, that form of escapism taking up most of your life, then I believe it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, I guess a lot of cons to that is losing your social connections, your family, because obviously humans were very social beings. We need to be around people, and we talked about this in the What Is Love
What is love?
What is love
Baby,
episode.
don't hurt me.
We're getting copyrighted.
Great.
We're getting copyrighted.
Yeah. No, now the song's stuck in my head.
But yeah, so that's like we covered this in the other topic, in the love topic.
I don't remember anything.
I don't know what we.
Joe, I'm a goldfish. I've already made 3 loops around the bowl.
Yeah. So you just don't know what's going on. You don't even know what we're talking about right now.
I don't even know why I'm here.
What's your name?
Jason.
Jason.
I saw a funny TikTok earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are pros and cons to each of the different types of escapism: minimal, moderate, and prolonged. Like I said, prolonged, if it's in short bursts but over a long period of time, doesn't mean you prioritize. It doesn't necessarily mean you're prioritizing the escapism, that alternate reality over your real life.
I mean, more or less though.
It just means. Yeah, but just because I train an hour a day doesn't mean I prioritize it over everything else. And like, if I was in the gym 12 hours a day, maybe you could say that I prioritize it over everything else.
At that point, how the hell aren't you?
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't see it as a negative thing, you know. And then moderate. Yeah, it like I said, it kind of depends on what the form of escapism is. Like, if you're just stuck in your basement during that time, you know, when you're trying to escape from things,
like touch grass.
Yeah, pretty much. But, yeah, if you're like in your basement or you're doing something unhealthy,
like drugs.
Yeah, like drugs, like overeating, like playing video games too long, whatever. Of course, it's going to have a bad influence on your life. But if you're just spending a little bit of time to escape from things, to unload that stress, or maybe put that stress into a more productive thing, then I don't like that. That's going to have a positive influence in your life, positive impact.
Yeah. Okay.
So I guess it depends on the actual form of escapism.
I can definitely see it, your point of view, sure. But at least from me and the research I've done, escapism is more or less a trauma response for actual people of victims of crime, domestic abuse, death, guilt, those type of things.
Yeah, there are small forms of, there are like minor forms of
but the thing
escapism though. Like I feel like the definition's very broad. Like it can go.
Yeah, but when you're talking about the medical psychological term of escapism, more or less you are going to be defining the people that it heavily affects and more or less targets. Because
that's if you're talking about the medical side of it, sure.
Yeah, because everyone escapes from reality. Everyone, legit, everyone in the entire planet. You watch TV for longer than an hour every day.
Yeah.
That's escapism.
That's right.
You go on your computer for 10 minutes a day. Escapism. That is like every single person on this fucking planet for as long as it's been. Okay? That's literally form of escapism. So for me, when I try and define it, and especially if there's pros and cons and whatnot, yes, I think for trauma victims, it is good initially. However, the longer you are in that false sense of reality, that fake world, the world where it doesn't exist, but your own faculties of your own conscious and subconscious, it's not good. Something that can just help you process the information better, yes. Something that you constantly live and cope and depend and need, then that's bad. At that point, you're not trying to accept reality for what it is by making it smaller bites. You're just swatting the spoon away and just not accepting it at all. You just want to live in that fake world you made where it's easier. Everything's
and that's not helpful
happier.
to anyone, man.
It's
not even yourself.
Not helpful. It's helpful for you to try and process the information, sure.
But you don't even process it if you're in a different world, man. Like, you're not even thinking about it.
No, initially, I mean.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's helpful to process information if you're just completely getting away from it. Like, in order to process the information properly, you need to be in the actual situation and consciously think about it. When you're doing some form of escapism, you're getting away from it because you're trying to avoid processing it.
And it's because some people can't break easier more than others.
That's right, yeah.
It's just who we are. Some people may mentally break after seeing someone get murdered, while some few people might be able to withstand that and have a few nightmares about it, but that's about it. It's just who we are as a person that defines us. I mean, speaking of which, it'll be really fun. Next episode, all three of us, we do our personality tests.
That would be really cool. Or at least we do the personality test beforehand, because I think it takes a little bit.
It takes like a solid like half.
Yeah. So I reckon if we did the personality test before the episode and then came in presenting,
not during the episode, I meant.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then like come in like presenting our. I think I did it a while ago for like some school thing or.
I think I got like a green dude. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh no, it was for a uni thing, wasn't it?
It was for a uni thing.
Yeah, so I remember now, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was something to do with like an entrepreneur like personality or something, or is common among famous like entrepreneurs.
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna say? I've already looped around the gold fishbowl. I don't remember at all.
Yeah, I can't remember that either. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I'm glad we're in the same boat.
Well, I think we should end the episode there. We got into the discussion about escapism and the definition, what our own definitions are, and how we perceive escapism, whether it's a moderate form of it or an extreme form of it. I guess it's totally up. I mean, like everything, I've said this like multiple times across all the episodes. It's up to each person's perception. And I'm going to say your line, and we're just trying to gain some clarity on it. I've stolen it. Take that.
I'm going to shoot you later. I'm going to take you around back in the forest and you.
Right, they'll not be doing some form of escapism now. I was trying to escape you.
That really is true. But yeah, either way.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, before we end the episode, we got a special announcement that may or may not be happening.
Wait, so it's not an announcement if it may or may not be happening?
Well, we got to clarify. I said it.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm done.
Please. Oh, God.
That's what you get. But yeah, there are talks that we may do a little sideshow or a little something special, at least for like a one-off thing that will be in development. Yes,
we potentially may be doing a Dungeons and Dragons episode.
Yeah, a little one-shot.
Just a one shot. That'd
Yeah.
be pretty fun.
More or less not Dungeons and Dragons. We more or less will be actually diving in each of the themes we've done to actively experience it. Walk a mile in someone else's shoe. So if I feel like
this is new to me. What's going on here?
Hear me out. I feel like to understand escapism, we should actively go into it. I want to understand altruism. Walk a mile in someone else's shoe. Be altruistic for a whole day. We record it, document it. See what I mean?
Or just try as hard as possible to. Yeah, just like, or you know, what'd be really cool. Actually, this just came to mind. Being, or at least becoming the person that has opposite beliefs to our own within the topics that we've already covered. So like going into the perspective, like becoming and seeing through the eyes of an opposite person's or an opposite belief system. Oh, how am I supposed to say this?
Contradicting personalities.
Just an opposite perspective. Yeah, like just stepping into the shoes of someone with an opposite perspective on the topics that we've already covered. That would actually be pretty cool. Yeah. Like, just try and genuinely see things the way that person would see.
Joey, I am not becoming a cynic. No way. I will rather die with my honor than lose it. Too late. We're gonna try.
Actually, you know what? No. Like, I guess it doesn't really apply to those, but I do like the escapism idea.
Yeah.
Like, now come to think of it, I don't really want to be a cynic for a day, so maybe just scratch that idea. But
no. Let's actually live out the themes of our episodes and our topics, walk a mile in our shoes, and let's try it out. And then we come back and let's see if that day of difference change our opinion.
Sure thing.
And more or less, is this a way for me to play Dungeons and Dragons with you guys live stream?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you honestly like this episode,
we're gonna do a D&D episode.
Yeah, essentially. But yeah, if you honestly like this episode, please share it to your mates, family, friends, everything. Really appreciate it. Check us out on YouTube for our VODs if you want to watch the actual live streaming itself. If not,
for all the listeners as well, thank you for
listeners?
well, yeah, on Spotify and all that.
Yeah, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music.
The people that didn't tune in to the live. No.
Okay. But yeah, if you want to find out more behind the scene contents, then please go ahead, check out our Instagram and our TikTok account. We'll be posting more or less behind the scene contents as well as like notices of live streaming times.
Funny clips.
Exactly. Go ahead. Little timestamps and such of our live stream. And be sure to follow it, comment, like.
The Instagram at @the.clarityconference.
Thank you. I was gonna honestly beg you to say it.
Yeah. And I think that goes for the rest of our social media handles. You can find all of those as well on the website. I think it's the Clarity Conference, the Clarity Conference podcast.podbean.com. Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in, and tune in next time to episode 12.
Yeah. Either way, until then, be sure to watch our previous episodes, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.